Welcome to another reading sprint session for Summer Slasher. I'm so happy that you guys are here. Start letting me know in the comments if you're here so I can say hi. What a week Summer Slasher has been. I just finished filming a little bit of a vlog update talking about everything that I've read so far, and I'm so happy with all the books that I've been able to read, and I've been able to meet most of my prompts. Hopefully you have too. Let me know how it's going for you guys. But yeah, I'm excited to read more with you today. I'm excited for us to work on a horror story that we're gonna write together. I'm very excited about this. This is the first time that we've done anything like creative like this. So thank you guys so much for being here with me. If you're in the chat, let me know, say hi so I can welcome you, and I know that you're here with us for more fun times. Ariel, hi! Thank you for being here. We will be needing your creativity today for our horror story writing. Hopefully, you're ready to go with that. Carly, hi! Thank you, Carly, for sharing all your pictures of your pets. That was so cool. I know a lot of people were like, oh my gosh, that's so cool. Thank you for sharing that on the Discord. Hi, Werecat! Welcome! I know it's late for you. I'm happy you're here. So happy you're here. Hi, Terry. How's everyone doing? How is your reading going? Let me update you guys a little bit on my reading. So, today I haven't been able to read a whole lot. I was doing some channel maintenance. I was doing some vlogging, trying to edit some of my vlogging clips. That's a whole lot. But I'm still working on Killer on the Road. Really liking this. I got a little bit more um, read through my audiobook, so I was actually able to do some of that. And I'm still really liking it. It's getting really like wild. It's like bananas. So I'm enjoying it. Hopefully, I don't know if I'll get to finish during today's sprints. I'm not sure. But the next thing I need to make sure that I get to before um we finish our whole readathon is this. I want to get to this and I want to get to this. So these are the things. I have to get through this Monster Volume 1 because that's my manga, so I have to get through that. And I want to read a little bit of my Choose Your Own Adventure and finish Killer on the Road. So those are my immediate plans. That's what I hope to get through today and tomorrow and see how far we can get. And then Friday will be our last day. Let me get caught up a little bit with you guys. Made a little progress with my book, but also just watched Candyman. Yes! Let me know how that was. I need to rewatch that. I love it so much. That's one of the ones I really want to rewatch. I need to make it a point to rewatch that. Isabel, I have gone down the rabbit hole of Carmilla, and I'm honestly infuriated at this point that people don't know Carmilla at least as much as B.S. Dracula. That's how I felt, Carly, when I first started teaching Carmilla. I remember like my kids being so shocked about it. They're like, what do you mean? Like this predates it. How is it possible that, it's a female, vampire and it's a sapphic love story and all these things. So yeah, there's so much beautiful art online, Carly. If you look up, there's like beautiful like paintings. I don't know what edition of Carmilla you have, but I have one that has been edited by Carmen Maria Machado. I love her. She's a great author, and she like has little notes like throughout. So I love that version of it. I'm totally obsessed with Carmilla, and I'm so glad you picked it up and read it. Hi, hipster mom. How are you? Thanks for being here. So happy you're here. Hi, Amy. Hello, everyone. I will be on for a little bit. Hubby is home tonight, so not sure how long I will be around. Yes, love that you shared your pet spider. It was really neat. Awesome. Thank you, Amy, for being here. I'm glad you're not alone and your hubby's home, so I understand. I know what that's like. Carly, I'm making it my life's mission to spread the word so it gets its proper respect and all the flowers do. It's criminal. Me too. I every year with every course that I teach, I try to spread the word of Carmilla. Hi, Jen. Thanks for popping on, my friend. Thank you. I just saw Jen over at Kat's Sprints. Kat is sprinting right now. Her normal Wednesday sprint. So I was there for a little bit. That's why I was a little late, like coming back on. And Jen was there. Jen, I believe, is a Carmilla fan too. Carly. So I think she knows Carmilla and loves Carmilla. Let me know, Jen, because I think we've talked about that before. I finished the Chestnut Man. Yes, Amy, finally. Wow, that was a big book. Yeah, I've been super intimidated to pick that to start it. It's on my shelf. It's been there forever, but I've been very intimidated to start it. May not have been a good one for a long okay, for a long readathon, but I ended up enjoying it. What it has the red cover, it has like the killer aspects. I think you could use it for like a lot though. Now I'm reading The Collective. I have that. And wow, the story is intense. Really enjoying this wild story. I've heard great things about that one. I think I got that in a subscription box as well. Love Candyman. I enjoyed the Chestnut Man. Okay, good. And you love Carmilla. Yes, awesome. Carly. She was reading it, and then I talked about it, and I was like, yeah, because it predates Dracula. You know, we said that in the live, and everyone was like, what? No way. And then we're all wondering why, like, that doesn't, why does no one talk about Carmilla? Because before Carmilla, there was no such thing as like these vampire, stories in the way we know them now. And everyone says, no, that was Dracula, and it wasn't. And by BS, I mean Bram Stoker. Okay, I thought you meant BS. You can tell that it was written by Clive Barker. It is the most unspoilery thing I can say. Yeah, for sure. Yeah, for sure. But that's a good one. I remember that from my childhood. I enjoyed that one. So lots of fun stuff, guys. Today again, if you're just logging on, today we are going to be working on doing an outline for a short story. I want us to create like the scariest story ever told, and I want us to all like use our brain power to come up with characters and a good villain and a good villain story and see where we go with that. So that's what we're going to be working on in between our sprints. So I'm so happy that you guys are here for that. I will be continuing with Killer on the Road. So that's what I'm going to start off with here. I'm planning on staying live probably till like 8 o'clock or something like that. So we'll see how many we can squeeze in. Kat is here. Hi, Kat. Kat, thank you so much for popping on. I was just telling them that I was coming from your live, your sprints, and that's why I was a little late logging on because I was over there on yours. But thank you so much for popping on. If you guys don't want to read and you want to like do other stuff, hop on to Kat's stream, okay? So you can, spend some time with Kat as well. I appreciate you, Kat, so much. Thank you, my friend, for logging on and sharing your presence with us just for a little bit. I know. I'll swing by yours too now when we start sprinting again. All right, everyone. So I think we are good. We're going to go ahead and start our very first round of sprinting. I'm going to set that up for 30 minutes. And after that, we'll begin working on our short story. And I'm really excited. I hope it goes well. And I hope we come up with some really scary ideas. And if any of you want to, turn this into a real story, knock yourselves out, should be fun. Alrighty, so we're gonna go ahead and start our sprints. I'll see you guys in 30 minutes. Let me add this back to my thing. Happy sprinting, my friends. I'll see you in 30 minutes. Welcome back, my friends. Welcome back. Let me know how was your sprinting. Hi, Tempe. Welcome, Tempe. So happy you're here. Welcome back, everyone. Let me know how your sprinting went. I'll let you know a little bit how it went for me. So, I got to a part now where there was a little bit of a break from, because it's been action, 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 action. So finally we got a little bit of a break and we got some character development and some backstory. So, you know, it was a little bit of a, okay, we're in another part now that's a little calmer, because it is like one of those like adrenaline heavy books. Like, it's a lot of action. So if you like that, I think this is a great book for you. If you really like books that have like a lot of that action, and a lot of gore, so much gore. So if you like that, again, I think you will enjoy it. So let me know how your books are going. Tempe, I was making something to eat and eating. Good, Tempe. You always get me hungry when it's not your caramel or your chicken tenders. What did you make now? Maybe I make it for dinner when I get out of here. Let me know. Kat, I'm writing a book review before I can begin reading. Awesome, Kat. You're always so productive. I admire how productive you are. And I love that you have a schedule for your things. I need to do a little bit more of that. I'm behind on my review writing. I was actually saying yesterday on my live that I've fallen behind a little bit with my journal, so I do need to do that. I feel once I'm done with the readathon, I can get back to, back into the swing of things, hopefully I can do that. But yeah, so yeah, everyone, let me know how it went for you. I will go ahead now and start telling you about what we're gonna do today. So let me remove this so you see me a little better. Okay, so we've been playing a lot of games. We've been having some fun trivia and lots of cool things. But what I wanted to do was work on a little bit of creating our own scary story. So I wanted to see if we could create the scariest story that ever was, right? So what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna start us off with like a basic premise. And again, we don't have to stay with anything. We can switch it all around, right? But um I want to have like the starting of a story to kind of get you working, and then together we can decide the course of the story and where we want the story to go. So let's see how we're able to get this done. I'm so behind on my book reviews. Me too, Kat. Me too. Even last month, I was super behind on them. And that's not even, I don't even do one book review per book. Like, I don't even do that. Like, I select the books that I want to do like a long review for. Everything else I kind of review with like a sentence or two on Goodreads, just to refresh my memory whenever I need to look back on that list. But yeah, a woman's gotta eat. Yes, Tempe. Yes, yes. I know. I'm starving right now. I'm reading Ride or Die. Yes, Carly. I didn't realize it was a kid's book. Yeah, I remember yesterday I saw she's like a middle grade, but I thought it was YA. Is it middle grade? I'm not sure. But I love Delilah S. Dawson, so I'll give it a chance. Yeah, I love her too. She has a extensive collection of YA or middle grade. I'm almost sure, because I know I was looking to doing a vlog of just her books. But yeah, I'm super behind on my reading journal too. Yeah, man, maybe we could do just some get caught up on our reading journal sprints, once this madness of summer slasher is over, All right, guys. So let me tell you a little bit about this character that I kind of decided would be our starting point. So I have an idea for a character who is she's a teenager, she's a high school student, and she is working along with her classmates in a state carnival. So they're like local to the area, and the state carnival is now there. And so our main character, is they've been working there for about a week or so, and it's just a temporary thing, a temp job, and she's in charge of the popcorn stall. That is her assigned section. She has three friends, which we will kind of create together, right? So she has three friends, and the inciting event is that the health inspector passes by her popcorn stall and says that it's not up to code, and she needs to make sure that she does a very thorough cleaning and fixing and picking up of her stall, and that he will be back tomorrow. So at the start of our story, we have our main character. We can name her whatever we want together, and her three friends who work with her as well. And we can give them all names and decide where they work in the carnival. And they're going to stay a little bit after hours to work on getting her stall up to code. Okay, so that's where we are with our story. And I kind of want to hear your ideas and see where we go with that. Um, Kat, I read Ride or Die. Oh, so you read that one. I liked mine even more. Oh my gosh. Okay, so you did read it and you enjoyed it. That's good to hear. I love Delilah S. Dawson, but I don't think I've read anything by her that's middle grade or YA just yet. But that's good, Kat. Was there a roach in her popcorn? Oh my god, I think that's a great idea. Okay, guys, so what was wrong with the stall? I guess we can say maybe there was rodent or like an insect. I normally when they put some sort of violation, I think like insects or like the fact that there might have been a roach dead, and I know they classify it as dead or alive, right? So there might have been a roach in her popcorn or like around the popcorn area. I really like that idea, Kat. Let me know more ideas about what was wrong with the popcorn stand, and let me know a little bit about how you want to flesh out our character. What ideas do you have for the character and or the friends? We're going to work on just those characters and that situation in this first little block. That sounds good so far. Okay, Tempe, so you're liking our story so far. Oh no, not a roach, please. Okay, so maybe not a roach. Okay, we can have a roach. We can have some rat poop. I think that's even maybe gross, more gross than the roach. Okay, we have two great ideas. So roach, they found some roaches there, or maybe they found rat poop. Let me know what you guys are thinking was the violation. What was wrong with it? How about a friend named Melanie who works at the balloon popping stand? She's a goth. Okay, I like it. So we have some ideas for what's wrong with the popcorn stand, and now we have a friend named Melanie. I'm good with that. And she's the one in charge of the balloon popping. And I like the goth thing. It's kind of reminding me, that's kind of like what was kind of inspiration for me with Slasher Summer, like some of those like stereotypes of the characters. Ariel says it's gotta be roaches. Okay. Tempe doesn't want it to be roaches. Okay, so let me know what do we want. Do we want it to be a roach? Maybe it was just one roach, guys. It's the carnival. Like we're out in the open. It's not like it's a roach in like the house, or like inside the kitchen. Maggots. Then that means there has to be like a dead thing. Maybe that is then gonna lead us to them discovering something dead. Okay, I kind of think that's cool too. Okay. Carly does not want roaches. The killer is named Rocha. He controls and kills with roaches. No! Okay, so that's something else we need to think about. Okay, so we need to think about what kind of horror we want this story to be, right? So, do we want this to be like, bug, like bug horror? Do we want this to be like a ghost story? Do we want this to be a possession story or a cosmic story? Or do we want it to be a slasher? Okay, so I think we have to kind of map out those things too before we make commitments to someone being a killer named Rocha. Okay. Like the fly, but the roach. Ariel, you're tapping into the stuff of my nightmares. Okay. So we have some starting points. We have the roach, we have the rat excrement, we have the maggots, which could point us to something being dead, and that could then connect to where this story is going. Oh, Tempe, you all went from roaches to maggots. My stomach is gonna turn, and you just finished eating. I'm sorry, Tempe. Turn it around, Tempe. You give us some ideas. Turn it around. Maybe this turns into like not a gross story. We don't have to make it a gross story. It could have just been something else that was wrong with the popcorn. It's supposed to be the scariest story ever. Yeah, this is true. So we do want it to be the scariest story ever. And I think we have to then tap into like what works and what doesn't work as like, our sources of fear, right? Okay, so we have Melanie the goth who works in the balloon stand. We have one character, one of the friends. We need two more friends. We need to talk more about the main character and more about what happened. What did it get flagged for? I mean, we could put all of them. There was like rodent excrement, and there was like the presence of a roach. I think we could include both. I think the health inspector should have. Oh, I like that, Tempe. Maybe the health inspector has a hidden agenda, and that's why he's like, you need to clean this up tonight. And in order to clean it up, she has to stay late, and then that is part of it. Okay, that's a great idea. Maggots and a finger or body chunks in the popcorn. Okay, so there could be like a severed like finger or something. This is reminding me of this. Okay, so maybe there's like a severed finger, or they discover like, or maybe while they're trying to clean out, they discover it. So do you think then that the inspector discovers it, or as they're trying to clean up the stall and the station, they make these discoveries? Okay, because maybe the roach is there because there's more underneath, and then they start investigating and find all of this. I think that's good. What about Trixie as a character? A musician for sure. I like the name Trixie, and I like a musician. What musical thing can we do at the carnival? Maybe she's a performer, like she's part of the band that is under the big tent. Maybe I like Trixie. I like that idea, and she's a musician. Okay, so I like where this is going. You guys are so creative. Where is Tyler? Tyler has to be one of them, guys. Tyler has to be one of them. We need to bring back Tyler. Bring back Tyler. The other friend could work in the cotton candy stand. Okay, Terry, I like that. So she works at the popcorn stand. We have a balloon popper stall person. We have the cotton candy, and then we have the musician. I think that's good. Okay, I like where that's going. So is Tyler going to be one of them? I don't know. We have Trixie. We have our main character, and then we have Melanie. So we're missing two names. If we want to make a boy, because we have two girls already. If we want the cotton candy person to be Tyler, that could work. Okay, the killer is the gravedigger. He has a shovel, and whenever he comes near, there are maggots and roaches near. He has a shovel and buries his kills right where they die. Oh my god, that sounds absolutely gross, but so good. And that's why, like, the maggots and the roaches are nearby him. Okay. Yes, Tyler needs to be there. Okay, so let's add him. These are great. I'm loving them. We need to kind of commit to some characters, because then in our next sprint, we're going to talk about like 3 major events. We got to go that route. Okay, just joining. Break talk. I had to finish my book. It was so good. All right, Amy. Well, we're talking about our characters that we're creating and all the gross things that are happening in this carnival. Maybe they discovered the inspector. Oh my gosh, so they discover that the inspector is going to be the first victim. Yes, Terry, I like that. Well, Tyler is the first to die. Okay, so do we want the inspector to be the first to die? Or do we want, like, Tyler? These are really, I really like that idea of finding the inspector. I like that a lot. Let me know. Let me know where we want to go. Amy, he's the op, obviously. It's giving the health inspector. Okay, so you guys want Tyler to be the inspector. Okay, and not an employee. So Tyler, okay, I like that. Okay, and then the bass player is going to be the musician we talked about, and that could be Trixie, right? Seth. Which one's Seth? Gross but good. That's my specialty. Okay, so our main character, she is trying to fix this problem that they're having. The health inspector's like, you better clean this up. Then how do we feel about the inspector dying first and us finding like the maggots and the roaches, because he's like, but it wouldn't give him enough time. When, well, unless we say that she had not until the end of the day. Yeah, the inspector would give it till the end of the day, right? Not more than one day. Is anyone writing this down? I'm not gonna remember. I know, and I'm not writing it down either. Um, but I'm thinking we can kind of do our outline. I'll during the sprints, I'll do the outline of what we commit to. I'll do it, Carly, so that next we can plan what happens in the second phase. Okay, Inspector is one of the first victims. Is great. We will kill him and Tyler before the main cast starts getting it. Okay. Oh, sorry. I thought you said you need another boy name. Yeah, we could do Seth. Um, yeah, it was. I think it was Trixie that they came up with that Tempe had said. Predator turned prey. Okay, yeah, and he gets what's coming. The inspector shutting down food stands and rides, making enemies. Yes, Terry. So, okay, so that's giving us some motivation for the killer then. Okay, so the inspector, he's being like nasty with all of the employees. He's telling them they have to like redo and clean all these things. So he's the first one, I think, to die for sure. Do we want the inspector to be Tyler? Is that gonna be Tyler? Trioxide on my auto. Just being mean, Trixie. Yeah. So Trixie's the bass player that works in the big tent, right? So she's doing that. Then we have our main character who's still nameless. She's in the popcorn stand. Then we have Melanie who works with the balloons. Okay. Good idea, Terry. Closed attractions don't make money. Yes. So then we have to, someone needs to be, well, I guess everyone's affected. If they're not making money, everyone in the carnival. So then the killer then is going to have to be involved with the carnival, right? Like the operations of the carnival or the family of the carnival, owners. Okay, so that's good. So, all right, so let me give you another one then. All right, so main character's Penelope, but they call her Poppy. I'm good with that. Or Penny. Yeah. So Penelope. So we have a Penelope, and I think I just read a book with Penelope. I can't remember right now, but I think I did. I think that Chopping Spree main character is named Penelope, if I'm not mistaken. Okay, so our character could be, we like Poppy. Okay, everyone likes Poppy. Okay, so we're gonna go with Poppy. So Poppy is our main character, and her friends, Trixie and her friend Melanie, and then we're missing a friend. It could be Seth if we wanted to. Okay, because somebody said that. So, Poppy the Popcorn Girl. I love it. I just read a book with a Penelope too. Oh my god, I like that. I didn't even notice that's why you said that. You're so creative. Okay, so, um, she gets the warning from the health inspector who told her, I'm shutting you down unless you clean this up by tonight. Yeah, Seth is what Amy said. So then she's like, hey guys, you need to help me. We need to clean this up because if not, I'm not going to be able to be at my stand tomorrow. So you need to help me. So the three of them are cleaning and, doing what they got to do, helping her out, getting everything ready. When we kind of can start with like our first like thing that happens. So how about, let me see, Seth is good. Seth is one of those JROTC kids. He thinks he's tough, but he's just a wimp and a coward. Oh, Seth. And he's all soft. That's why he works at like the cotton candy stand. Okay, I like that. Tyler was Tylering, so they find him frying in the hot dog cart with a horrifying message for the rest. Oh, I like that. Oh, and then I think with the frying and the hot dog cart, that kind of lends itself to like the body parts that you were talking about. Okay, so that's really good. The inspector's death can be kind of like a red herring as to the motive. Wow, guys. Who would have thought we could come up with such great ideas? It's almost like we're all readers or something, right? I like that. I like that. Okay, so the inspector's death. So I think leading up to the inspector's death, right? Death by deep fryer. So yes, his fried fingers in the popcorn. Oh my god. Ah! Okay, so let's go with that. So then they okay, so they're cleaning everything up. Is that when we want them to find the stuff? Because they don't know anything, right? Like, we're assuming they don't know anything. So as they're cleaning it up, they're finding that? Is that when they're... Because then they have to find the body, right? Maybe we find the body parts, but we have to find the body. So his face and eyeballs. Oh my god. Okay, so I think are we going for a slasher thing? Is that where you guys are going with this? It sounds like there's a slasher loose. Is it a slasher? Do we want to go with slasher, not a monster or creature feature or cosmic horror, ghost or possession? Are we going with slashers? Everyone happy with that? Let me know. Cause then we gotta go back to our reading sprints. Let me know. So are we happy with what we have so far? They find the fingers in the fryer. The lights go out in the carnival. Okay, so they find the fingers in the fryer. And then maybe they all freak out, right? And right as they're like freaking out or trying to investigate, lights go off, right? Okay, so there's like a big like power outage. And all of the lights of the carnival just kind of, right? And they're left like in the dark. Maybe they hid his body under the stage. Yes. So maybe we can go back to the big tent later, right? And that's where we discover the body. Because right now we just see like the body parts. Okay, I like that. Tyler walks off to check the generator. Oh my god, this sounds like our our choose your own adventure with a generator. And so Tyler goes off to check the generator and bam. Okay, so you want him to die off the bat while he goes to check the generator? We're killing Tyler immediately, huh? Okay. So Tyler's gonna die immediately. All right. Okay, guys, I like where we're going. So let's take a little sprint break. While you're sprinting, let's think of where we want the story to go next, right? So we gotta define who our villain is and what their motivations are, maybe, or how do they kill. I've heard a lot of slashing things. He likes hacking and frying people, so maybe something like that. This is great. I just retired from 30 years of teaching so I can publish this and make money until I can officially retire. Not old enough to pull my retirement. Hey, if you can work a story with this, Carly, I think you should. All right, guys. So this has been fun. Great brainstorming. I'm going to write down some of these ideas so we don't forget. And we're going to go ahead and do 30 minutes of sprinting. And then we'll get back to part 2 of our story, where it's going to go from there. All right. We would love to read it. Yes, we would. Oh, and Trixie is performing so they don't hear Tyler being killed. Okay, so Trixie's performing. They don't hear Tyler being killed. There's like a lot. Okay. I like it. I like it. Okay, so start thinking. We'll flesh it out when we come back. Happy sprinting, my friends. I'll see you in 30 minutes. Welcome back, my friends, from sprinting. Let me know how that went for you. And we can move on then to our story. So let me tell you a little bit about mine. So I didn't get to read a lot because for the first part I was kind of writing down our ideas because Carly was like, are we going to remember any of this? So I made sure that I wrote down our key points that we want to go with moving forward for this next little working on our story. So Killer on the Road is still good. The action is has ramped up again. So we are back to as much action as we had before. So there really is no stopping. I can totally imagine this getting turned into like a movie. I think it reads like a movie. You know, it's like really, really intense. So I'm liking it. I'm liking it a lot. I'm still about halfway there, not really making a lot of progress, but we're having fun. Let's see. So we had a couple good ideas. Ariel says these sprints are actually pretty good for work. Who knew? You see, they could be productivity sprints. You could be reading. You could be working and answering your emails. You know, doing everything that you need to get done to catch up. So let me share with you what we have of our story so far, and then we can move forward with our story. Okay, so we have our main character who at this point she's like our heroine, but we need to decide if we want this to have a final girl element or not, right? Do we want her to survive or not? Things we need to think about. So her name is Poppy and she works at the popcorn stand in question. So we know that the reason that the health inspector told her she needed to make sure it was up to code was because there were like some roaches in the area. There also seems to have been like some rancid smelling things emanating from the popcorn stall. Okay. Then she has a couple friends there that are working in the carnival with her, right? So we have Trixie, who's the bass player, and she works inside the big tent, and she's a musician. We have Seth, who is the cotton candy stand employee, right? Then we have Melanie, who works in the balloon popping game, and they're all her friends. But the only one who's really stressed out is Poppy because of the situation with the popcorn stand. So we have Tyler the inspector, who we decided someone said he should be killed off first, right? Because he's Tyler. And because we thought he'd be like a red herring, right? I think that was Terry's idea. And inside of the popcorn stand, as Poppy and her friends are cleaning it to make sure that it's up to code for the following day, we find some fried body parts, in particular fingers, right? And I think they should live like where the butter is. What do you what do you guys think? I think that's where they need to be. Like, you know, where the butter is like stored. I think that's where we should discover them. And this is definitely heading into like slasher territory with lots of like gore. So that's what we've come up with in our first session of crafting this story. Let me know where we go next. So Ariel says that everyone should die and the killer should win. Let me know how we feel about that, as opposed to having one final girl. Hi, Nor. So happy you're here. Finally got home and settled in from work. I'll try to catch up. Awesome. We are working on our horror story, you know, and so far it's looking like it's a gory slasher with Poppy as our main character. Let me know if you were able to listen to all of my little summary and where we're taking our story next. Hi, Eternity. So happy that you caught the sprint. I'm happy you're here. Thanks for being here. In the vat of butter, pretty sweet. Yes, I think that's good for it to be there. Ooh, I love gore. Okay, well we need your ideas, Lure. So let's do this. I did hear your summary. Perfect. Okay, so the hot fried finger was melted in the butter. Oh my gosh, yes it was. Okay, so it was melted in the butter. Okay. Tempe says the kids should take down the killer. Okay, so Tempe wants it to have like a happier ending, I guess, and that they do survive or overcome the killer. All right. So Ariel had said they all die. Tempe wants them to be able to survive. I like that idea. Now we need a plan as to how we find Tyler the inspector dead. So somebody had said that we were gonna have, let me remove this so you see me better. Okay, so somebody said that the power should go out and that someone should go work on the generator, and I think that's when they're going to discover the body. But we still don't know who our villain is. Like, we don't know who's doing this. So before we move on with that, I think we need to flesh out our villain just a little bit. So what are we thinking for the villain? If we could answer some basic questions, I think it'll help us get there. So, you know, what does the killer want? How does he kill? And like, does he care about torturing the victims or just killing them? So motivations, what's his end goal, right? And how does he do it? Like, what's his like shtick, right? Because he is it's a slasher, right? So he has to have like a some sort of like background or whatnot. So I like some of the ideas. We had the grave digger idea, right? So that was an idea. Scrolling back up, but we talked a lot, so I don't even know. Ariel wants to tell us the gravedigger idea again. Terry, you had said something that I liked too about the motivations for the killer, so maybe remind us of that. The butter is going to come out orange. Yes. So it's almost looking like it's like cheddar popcorn. Oh my god, why do you guys do this? Do we want a carnival fair themed killer or just keep that as the setting? Okay, that's a good question. So what do you guys think? Tempe says the power went out because Tyler's body was under the stage and the wires. Okay, so I like discovering the body underneath the stage, right? I like that idea, and I like that Trixie's the bass player. So maybe when they discover the finger, Poppy and whoever was with her, they run to the big tent to go see Trixie, and then, you know, that's something happens there. I think that's where it's leading us. I think the story wants to go to the tent next, but I'm not sure how to get us there. That's good, Tempe. The killer wants revenge for what their parents did years ago. Okay, I love a good revenge story. Okay, so it goes back to what the parents did many years back. I like that as a possible explanation as to why the killer is doing what they're doing. Okay, Tempe likes all of that. Okay, so the gravedigger was the one with the shovel, and the roaches and maggots signal his incoming arrival. Okay, so if we like him looking like a gravedigger, we can kind of connect that. Maybe the carnival is next to a cemetery. What do we think of that? Maybe it's next to there. That's a possibility. Cardi says the power went out. They go to the generator and they see Tyler rotating on the hot dog machine. Oh my god. Okay. So Tyler the inspector is found by the generator. Okay, so I like that. Oh, maybe what causes the power outage is in the big tent, you know, while Trixie and the musicians are playing, they like do a surge, right? Like there's a surge, and that's why the power goes out. Okay, so that could combine both of those. I really like this, and I like the idea of the hot dog machine. But is he like, is all of Tyler in the hot dog machine? Is it parts of Tyler that are in the hot dog machine? What does this look like? Okay, maybe. Okay, I like the hanging from the Ferris wheel going round and round. Oh, maybe that could be a next victim. Okay, so maybe the first victim, Tyler, is found in the hot dog machine when they go check out the generator because the power outage from the band. The band causes like some sort of like power outage, okay? And then the second victim, we have to decide who's the second victim gonna be. We can find them hanging from the Ferris wheel, missing like a limb or two, right? Because of course there's that going on, okay? Yes, he's smushed in there. Why are you guys like this? I can't. Okay, the parents could have embezzled. Okay. And it made the killer's parents commit suicide because they lost everything. Okay, so yeah, maybe is it a small town carnival or what? It could be whatever we want it to be, Tempe. So yeah, I really like the idea of the parents like causing the killer's parents to lose everything. What? Oh, maybe that's what it is. Because you said maybe it used to be a small town carnival until they bought out or pushed out the parents of the killer and like a big corporation took over. What do you guys think? I like that. Yes, Tempe. Okay, so what do you guys think of that? It connects to the revenge story. He's doing it out of revenge. I like Tempe's idea too. Okay, good. So the parents definitely drove out the killer's parents, right? And they lost everything when they lost the carnival that they were so passionate about, and they were like performers or whatnot in the carnival, apart from being the owners, and then they were like bought out by this company that embezzled. How does that connect then? A big evil corporation. Yes. Okay, so Tempe's liking it. Okay, good. So the killer then, what are they like? What do they look like? How do they like slashing things, right? So they like cutting people up into pieces and tampering. Oh, that's what it is. So the killer likes tampering with like the food stuff because they're trying to get the carnival shut down. How does that sound? It used to be called Flag Amusement Park, and now it's Six Flags. Yes, Carly, I love this. Okay, so it used to be. I gotta write that down for when I'm writing in between the session. Okay, so it used to be called Flag Amusement because it was like a family-owned kind of thing, and then Six Flags like bought it and like took over. I love it. Oh, all the stars from Ariel. Okay, good. Tempe. So the killer has been living amongst them as an outsider, and no one knows she used to live there. Okay, so she's come back. And do we want the killer to be a female? We normally don't get a female killer, so that would be interesting. So the female seeking revenge on these big corporations because of what they did. Lure, that's what I said too. Yeah, so the killer's female. We're so getting sued. Okay, so what do you think? So they're trying to get okay, definitely. All right, so then I like it being Flag Amusement, and now it's Six Flags, right? So they're trying to get the park shut down. The killer's trying to get the park shut down while slashing, hacking and slashing everyone. I live for female rage. Make her unhinged. Okay, let's do it. All right, so it's a female killer, and she's the daughter of the owners. Okay. Why does she want to chop people up? Just because it's tampering with the hygiene of the food in the park, or do we want more? I think we could get more out of that and make her more unhinged. So when her parents died, I know her parents died, right? That's what Tempe had originally said. So maybe what ended up happening after that caused that. And then is she torturing or just hacking and slashing? What do we want with that? And then that's it. It's gonna give us like another minute for this brainstorm, and then we gotta go back to sprinting. Okay. So she wants to get people to not come and shut them down. Okay, got it. All right. Any other ideas? Let's see, Tempe, because she blames everyone for pushing them out of town. Okay, so she blames everyone. She lost everything. Maybe like, after her parents died, she was maybe, I don't know. She was sent elsewhere, or has she always lived there? Did she always stay there, or did she leave and come back? I think she probably comes back, right? Lure says, I do like a female killer, like a large, voluptuous woman who seems so nice that no one suspects. Yes. So could she be one of the performers, or could she be? Maybe she makes like the cinnamon rolls or something. Maybe she makes like the something sweet. Maybe she's in charge of something sweet. I like that. Maybe she's cooking. Maybe is she a performer? What else could be? What else is in a? We have the Ferris wheels. We have the big tents. Yeah, she could be like a baker. I like that. And she bakes like the cinnamon rolls. We have cinnamon rolls in carnivals, right? Yeah. Madame something. She could also be the fortune teller, because you said Madame, so it kind of made me think of that. But I like the baker version too. What do you guys think? Is she a baker? Is she a fortune teller? The manner of death should be gruesome and leaves crazy notes behind. She lives on the underground bowels the public doesn't know about. Maybe even underneath like the carnival, right? Like it has like, an underworld, the underbelly of the carnival. She left and came back, probably moved out of town to live with a relative and came back once she turned 18. She could be a pretzel maker. It could also be witch themed. She could make cinnamon rolls. Oh, yes! Like a tarot card theme. Okay, so if she's a soothsayer, or she's one of the psychics, she can do that too. I kind of like both of those ideas. Like she lives in the sewer. Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles. Oh, yes, underneath a carnival. Okay. All right, guys. Great ideas. I'm going to write some of this stuff down. We're going to go ahead now and resume our sprinting. Let me set this up again. So we're going to do 2 more sprints, okay? So this is going to be one sprint. We'll flesh out the rest of our story, and then one last reading sprint. And that should take us more or less up until like 8:15 or so. That's what I'm thinking. So come up with those ideas. We're getting further in the plot. Yes, Tempe, you're doing really good. You're giving us a lot to work with. All right, guys. So we're going to sprint for 30 minutes, and then we'll come back and try to finish our story. Okay? Happy sprinting. I'll see you in 30 minutes. Welcome back, friends. Hope that was a fun sprint for you and that you got ahead on your book. Let me know. Before we dive into our story, let me know how your sprinting went. I did have to catch up on my writing stuff down, but I was able to read more of Kidder on the Road. At this point, it's just like I'm ready for like this thing to kind of end because it's like an ongoing scene, but I don't think it's gonna end. I think it's gonna be like this like until the ending of the book. And it's just kind of like I don't know what's gonna happen. I don't want certain characters to like, so it's pretty intense. I'm really enjoying it. I do recommend it. It does take a while to read. Stephen Graham Jones is in his writing. You know how that goes. So let me know how your sprinting went. Let me get caught up with the comments on the chat. Let me know how your sprinting went, and then we can go back to our story. So more ideas like underground caves that used to be used as old storage facilities. I think that's a great idea, Carly. The fool, justice, death, the tower eat. Teppy says, what did you type, Ariel? You're speaking Chinese. Okay. She should be like a groundskeeper where she could be anywhere and no one would question why she has access to everywhere. Okay, so I like that. The fact that she's like a groundskeeper because then she knows the ins and outs of moving throughout to this entire thing. Which then she wouldn't really maybe look like the cinnamon roll lady or the fortune telling lady. Maybe she looks more like that gravedigger character. Let me know. I like that, Carly. It's different tarot cards. Oh, the different. I guess I'm hungry. Eat a Snicker, Ariel. Yeah, we are starving. We haven't had anything to eat. Okay, so let me know. Update me on your sprinting and let me know where our story is going because we need to make some decisions. So, I had written some ideas of the last thing we talked about with the that she was like a baker. I think it was Lure who had said that maybe she was the baker. And then I kind of like that she makes pretzels and like the cinnamon rolls. And then I was thinking, maybe she, some cinnamon roll, like on top of the icing, you have like nuts of different kinds, like almonds or whatever. And then I was thinking, okay, well, they say like cyanide like smells like almonds, so maybe she's already started like getting people sick or poisoning people like through those means. But I do like the idea of her being like a groundskeeper and like, manipulating everything from underneath, kind of. So let me know if we're going with this. Is she the baker? Is she the tarot card reader? Is she the groundskeeper? Where are we going with this? Um, what we do know is that she is seeking revenge. We know that this big corporation bought her family out of the carnival, so she has come back for revenge. We also know that Tyler the inspector was the first one to go. I also wanted to add some backstory to Tyler the inspector, and maybe the reason that she kills him first is because she had been trying to tell him, hey, you need to shut this down. Like, people are getting poisoned and people are getting sick, and look how like dirty and everything is. And he's like, well, we got to give people a chance. And so he hasn't been acting fast enough, so she decides to like kill him first, and that's why she's like extra like violent and aggressive and gory with him. So let me know what you're thinking of, those ideas and how we're moving forward. I'm going to give us like 5 minutes to do this, and then we're jumping to our last sprint of the night. So let me know, what are your ideas? What are we thinking? Let's see. What are we thinking? Let me know. Okay, waiting on some ideas from you guys. All right. Okay, so let's see. Carly. Tyler is getting bribed to look the other way. Oh, I like that. So she's been trying to tell Tyler, hey, Tyler, these people are going to get sick. Like, you need to do something about it, right? And shut this operation down. But Tyler's getting the big bucks from the Six Flags people, and she can't afford to pay him what the Six Flags people are paying him. That's good. Okay, Terry's liking where the story is going. All right, so who's going to be, so now we kind of have the villain fleshed out a little bit. We know the motivations, we don't know what they look like and how they kill necessarily, so tell me about that. And who's going to be your second victim? Some of you wanted the kids to survive, all of them. Do you think it's time for either Seth or Melanie or Trixie to die, or do we want them all to live with Poppy? And is Poppy gonna be our final girl? Let me know. Let me know what you're thinking. All right. Tempe says, but if Tyler is the health inspector and he came cracking down on the popcorn machine, how is he looking the other way? I guess, Tempe, that's a good point. I guess he's doing the bare minimum. He's like, hey, clean this up because, you know, people are talking, but he's not going to follow through with anything. He's just putting like pressure, you know, after like a long time of him hearing that things were going sideways. But that's good because you're helping us with the loopholes. So that's good, Tempe. Poppy should be the final girl and then everyone else gets it. Okay, so Poppy will be the final girl and then the rest need to go. So let's start thinking then, I guess, to wrap it all up, you know, what are those creative deaths that we're going to do? It's just we don't know how she kills. So we need some creative deaths for Trixie and Melanie. The inspector died in the hot dog machine. Hot dog, how do we like connect that to his death? I need to process this. We need more ideas. How do we connect all of that? And then who's gonna be next? I think maybe Trixie dies electrocuted or something, like on her base. What do you guys think? Trixie dies like electrocuted. Oh, and maybe Melanie, the balloon popping, she dies like by a thing, like, you know, the whatever you shoot to pop the balloons. Like she gets like shot at with like something. If we want camp, we can make them all carnival related deaths. Yeah, if we want to make it campy. We were trying to make the scariest story of all time. That's what we set out to do, right? If the kids are Gen Z, off them. Just kidding. I like that. Like the strongman hammer, darts in the eyes. That's what I was thinking. The darts for Melanie, because she's with the balloon popping. So maybe that's how death by darts. Yes, Terry. I like the death by darts. Okay. So we have some work to do, guys. We need to think of our creative deaths. Poppy is surviving, and what's gonna happen. How's the killer gonna go down? So we need to think about that. So I'm ready to start our sprints. Okay, I was gonna do 30 minutes and then we'd be done, but we're not done with our story. So I'm gonna do. Someone gets thrown off the teacups. Okay, so I'm gonna do 20 minutes for our sprint and then 10 minutes to wrap up our story at the end. Okay, so I think that's what we're gonna go with. So while you're reading or doing whatever you're doing, think of how we're going to execute the rest of this. And of course, we can table it and continue at another time, but I kind of want to know where this is going, you know? All right, so I'm going to set us up for 20 minutes. Let's do that. Let me share this. Back up here, water guns, blowing up the balloons. And she could have a waterboarded death. I like that too. That's a good one. Okay, so I kind of like that one. I think that one's funny. Ariel, you're just spewing things. No rhyme or reason. I think so too, Tempe. I think so too. Terry. but what is the motive for killing the kids? Right. Yes, Terry. Cuz I mean, they could all be like related to like the Six Flags people, but it has to be something else. They have to have discovered something, maybe the underground, maybe when they discover the body in the hot dog machine and then they realize that the generator light got pulled out because Trixie was playing and she gets electrocuted. Maybe they try to see the source of the power outage and they discover the undergrounds. And then that's how they catch on to Tyler. That's how they catch on to the killer, which doesn't even have a name. We need like a name. But that's good, Terry, because now we have maybe a reason to kill the kids. Because if not, why are they dying? Yeah, that's pretty good. Waterborne death. Oops. Or the gun you used to shoot out the little star. Or helium overinflating her lungs and popping her lungs and then deflating them, coming through her mouth and nose. Oh my god, Carly. Yes, yes. I like that, Isabel. Okay, Terry. So I think that kind of fits into why the kids. But I like that you asked that because it's good. This is good, guys. Someone needs to get this idea and like do a little story, like a one-page story at least, so that we have our all of our ideas like in an actual little story. It's not a crime story. It's horror. F them kids. Or Tyler could know the killer's real identity. Yeah, well, Tyler, she got mad at Tyler, right? But yeah, I guess he knows once she kills him, she sees that it's her, you know? Okay, so great brainstorming. I'm gonna put 20 minutes on our timer, and then we're gonna go ahead and have 10 minutes to wrap up our story, okay? So let's do this. I'm feeling my king era. I love it. And you have to at least in the acknowledgments shout us out, okay, Carly? When you turn this into like your great story, you have to put in the acknowledgments. At least shout me out, okay? Because this is good. Who died? Hi, Cat. So Tyler's dead. He got chopped up into pieces and stuffed into the hot dog machine. I think Trixie's about to get electrocuted as she's playing bass because they messed with the generator. And it's a revenge story because the killer's parents owned the carnival and they got bought out by like Six Flags and it got turned into like this huge thing and the parents like couldn't deal with the loss. So it's a revenge story. Um, and yeah, that's where we are right now. That's the latest update. I think we need a creative weapon that the killer uses. Tyler definitely got it. Tyler was the first to go because he was refusing to work with the killer. The killer wanted to shut down the carnival, and Tyler was getting paid big bucks. So, yeah. I know it sounds unhinged if you haven't listened to if you only listen to the summary, it sounds unhinged. But I think we're kind of going with that. All right, guys. So I'm gonna set up our 20-minute last sprint of tonight. Enjoy your 20 minutes sprinting and come back with some ideas, okay, for how we're going to end this entire thing. All right, I'll see you in 20 minutes, my friends. Happy sprinting. I'm going to turn on my Hello, my friends. Welcome back. How was your very last sprint? I got to some terrible parts here in this. I was not happy. I actually got a little sentimental. But I'm being hopeful that, things get a little bit better for the characters. But yeah, it's been intense. Let me know how your reading went as our last sprint is now done. And of course, I want to check out your comments here about our story. The killer should have some funny one-liners in her notes left with the bodies, the way Freddy Krueger did. I like the little notes too. I think it adds like character. But what could they say? Oh, you said something like, "No, that was an electrifying solo." I like that. Okay, and they deal with the deaths, right? Like, maybe the hot dog thing has to do with like pork or beef or something, like maybe like pig or something like that. Okay, I kind of like that, Carly. So I thought Tyler was under the stage, but his fingers were in the butter. Yeah, his fingers were in the butter, and they wanted him under the stage, but then he ended up shoved into the hot dog thing. So I'm not sure. I don't think we were able to like decide that Tempe, but each of you can do what you want with the outline. Remember, we've created an outline for this story, and you guys can definitely take this story wherever you want. I finished my poetry for cats. Good. There were some slasher kitties in some of those poems. I love it, Cat. That sounds so fun. I don't think I'm familiar with it. I need to see what that is. I'm not familiar with it. Now I can focus on Slasher Summer, my last book of July. Yes. I enjoyed it, Kat. I thought it was pretty good. I'm thinking Killer on the Road and manga are going to be my last two reads of July, too. I need to wrap them up for the readathon. Um, so does that mean that the power never went out? I think the power goes out, Tempe, when Trixie gets electrocuted. I think that's what kind of sets that going. Ride or Die is actually quite good. I'm really enjoying it. Yes, Carly, I have that pulled out and I know I want to do something with it. And I have a couple other Delilah S. Dawson books. I know Monstera's coming out, her new release. If it comes out next month, maybe I do like a little vlog of like, reading a couple Delilah S. Dawson books. That's actually a good idea. I think Monstera is coming out. Does anyone know if that's coming out next month? The new Delilah S. Dawson? While you guys continue updating me on your reads and updating me on the story, I do want to tell you what our schedule is going to be like tomorrow. So, tomorrow's Thursday, our second to last date of the readathon. So, we will have a 1 p.m. Discord call meetup. And that's basically so we can talk to all of our overseas friends who haven't been, able to participate very much in the lives. So, join us for the call. It shouldn't be too long. I'm thinking a few minutes we can all, pop on and talk and maybe turn on our, if you want to turn on your cameras or talk or whatever you want. But I will be there at 1 o'clock on Discord. That will be on our Discord. So if you still haven't joined the Discord, the links are everywhere on my channel. So just look for that and join us. But we will be having that 1 p.m. Discord call. And we have our watch party tomorrow. So it's 7:30 is our meetup time on here, and we will officially like press play together at 8. Okay, so we'll have some time from 7:30 to 8 to kind of talk a little bit, maybe wrap up our story that we're working on now. But we are going to be watching Killer Clowns from Outer Space. Tubi does have commercials, so I know we won't be completely synced, but I wanted, since it's our first like watch-a-thon, I wanted it to be something that everyone has access to and is free. So it is on Tubi and it is free. So just make sure that you have it downloaded, and then I'll be on camera. I'll be watching along with you. And then of course you'll be commenting and all of that. And yeah, it should be fun. So it's gonna be tomorrow, 7:30 p.m. Eastern. We're starting to meet, and then I want to press play by 8 o'clock to kind of give people some time to join the live. But that is my plan. So I just wanted to share those plans with you guys before we get carried away with this and then we head out. The flow is kind of all over the place for the story. I know, Tempe. I know it's just difficult because we have so many good ideas, but maybe you can try to put it into a story and kind of, take it where you want it to go. I need to try some of Delilah S. Dawson's adult fiction. I highly recommend Guillotine. I highly recommend Bloom. Those are my favorites, Kat. They're so good. Yes, Monstera comes out October 13th. Okay, so we have to wait a little bit. The cover is stunning. I know, I know. Killer Clowns is so crazy. Yes, it's one of my favorites, Kat. How exciting, Lure. Yes, I hope you'll be able to join us. And yes, it's 7:30 p.m. Eastern, and yes, it's on Tubi, which means it's free for everyone. Um, so yeah, that's kind of what we have for now, guys. So, what we'll do is, of course, Kat, you're very welcome. I hope you enjoy them. They're short novellas, which you know I love a short, horror work. So it's really good. They're short and they're great. All right, guys. So what I'm gonna have you guys do is continue thinking of where we want the story to go, because I know some of us kind of want the story going in one direction and some of us want it going in the other direction. If anyone is feeling brave enough to, write some of this down, I think that would be fun. Carly, who's tapping into her Stephen King era, maybe you want to jot down some of this. But at 7:30 tomorrow, then we can definitely talk a little bit about our story before we start watching Killer Clowns from Outer Space. And that's pretty much everything that I have for today, guys. So let me know. Let me know. Don't forget to join me. I hope you can join me tomorrow. It should be a lot of fun. I'm gonna go ahead and try to have dinner now because we haven't had anything to eat. I'm happy I got to spend some time with y'all. Thank you so much, Kat. I appreciate you popping in on and off here as you're having your own sprints. I appreciate you, my friend. And yeah, that's about it, guys. Thank you for another fun afternoon. I enjoyed this so much. I don't know, I may go into body horror and everyone will kick me out of the story. I'm loving it, Carly. You have to continue it. I loved it. I loved it. Thanks for another great spring. Thank you, Terry, for being here. I appreciate you. Thank you, Lure. Thank you so much. Thank you, thank you. Bye, Tempe. Enjoy your night. Bye, friends. I'll see you tomorrow. Discord at 1 and 7:30 on YouTube. Yes, to body horror. Bye, my friends. Thanks so much for another great night.